in last video we studied the dual nature of radiation and matter. In that we studied the de Broglie's hypothesis. According to the de Broglie, he calculated the formula for the wavelength. Then today's video we are going to study Thomson's atomic model. Then Thomson's performed several experiments with glass vacuum tube. Means Thomson's performed several experiments with glass vacuum tube, and this glass tube consists of two electrodes, which is cathode and anode. When the voltage is provided, then when the voltage is provided between the cathode and anode, then cathode emit the rays which is produces glow when the stuck on the glass. When these rays stuck on the glass, they produces a rays behind the anode, and these rays he concluded that, means Thomson's concluded that, means cathode emit the rays, and these rays which are called as the negatively charged particles called as electrons. Means Thomson's consist of negatively charged electrons called as the negatively charged particles called as electrons, and he proposed his model in 1903. Means Thomson's proposed his model in 1903. According to this, it consists of atom consists of a sphere. This is the sphere, and according to this, atom consists of a sphere having unit positive charge, means uniform positive charge, in which electrons are embedded. Means total positive charge which is equal to the total negative charge. Means total positive charge which is equal to the total negative charge of electrons. Means, and according to this, the positive charge cannot come out. Means this positive charge cannot come out, but the negative charge which is very small, so they can be emitted. And example of this Thomson's atomic model, means this atomic model likes to be plum pudding model or the watermelon. Then watermelon means this watermelon consists of, the red part consists of positive charge and seeds consist of a negative charge. Means the negative charge means seeds are spread around the positive charge, means total positive charge which is equal to the total negative charges. But positive charge cannot come out, but the negative charge which is are very small, so they can be emitted. And using this model, means Thomson's explained the formation of ions and ionic compounds. Means according to this model, this explain the formation of ions and ionic models. Means according to the Thomson's, it consists of, atom is made up of a sphere, means this sphere having a unit positive charge and electrons are embedded in it. Now the next point is Rutherford atomic model. The next point, Rutherford's atomic model. In this video we studied the Thomas atomic model. Thomas says that whole positive charge which is entirely spread over the sphere, means whole positive charge which is entirely spread the atom of an atom, spread over the sphere of an atom, but the incident alpha particles will be deflected, through very small angles. Then Rutherford argued that alpha particles would get deflected back. Means Rutherford argued that alpha particles would deflected back. Why they deflected back? Because they must have encountered a massive particles. Means these alpha particles have encountered a massive particle with large positive charge, so it repelled back. Means they are encountered by a massive particle with large positive charge, so they repel back. Means the incident alpha particles, some of them are repelled back, and many of means very small number of alpha particles will repel back, and most of the alpha particles will be passed through undeviated. Means he concluded that the positively charged particle in the atom, positively charged particle in the atom must be very small. Means they are very small, but most of the mass, which is they contain most of the mass of an atom, but this positive charge contains most of the mass of the atom. Means this atom size is 10 raised to minus 5 times the size of an atom. Means its atom size is 10 raised to minus times the size of an atom, and its volume is 10 raised to minus 15 times the size of an atom. He called the particle nucleus of an atom. He called the particle is called the nucleus of an atom. Then he also proposed that the entire positive charge, means nucleus which is situated at the center, and entire positive charge, and most of an atom is center, means most of an atom and positive charge which is centered at the atom, and electrons which is revolve around the nucleus in the circular orbit. Means nucleus as the center and nucleus which is revolve around the nucleus but in circular orbit. The revolution of electrons are necessary. Why the revolution of electrons are necessary? Because if the revolution of electrons are necessary, if they are not revolutionary, then electrons which is falls on the nucleus, and then the structure of atoms will be collapsed. So the revolution of electrons are necessary. And also the space between the orbits of the electron. Why there is a space between the orbits of electron? The same reason, means if these orbits, there is no space between the orbits, then they falls on the nucleus, so structure of the atoms will be collapsed. So the space between the orbits of the electrons, and because of this space of the orbit, they gives the size of the atoms, and because of this they gives the size of the atoms, and the nucleus is mostly empty. Means this nucleus which is made up of positive charge, and this is mostly empty. So most of alpha particles which is passing through this nucleus, and some alpha particles which is passes through a straight line or direct line, or are extremely close to it, and they are very close to it, get reflected back and deflected through a very large angles. Then this model also explains, why no positively charged particles are emitted. Means according to the Thomas atomic model, he says that the positively charged particles are not emitted, but no reason behind, he does not give the reason behind them. But the Rutherford, according to the Rutherford model, he explains no positively charged particles are emitted. He gives the reason behind them, but the negatively charged electrons are emitted. Then because of this nucleus which is at the center, and they have most of the mass at the center, so they are not deflected if the force is applied on it. Means this is the explanation of Rutherford's atomic model. According to this Rutherford atomic model, he says that the nucleus is at the center, and most of the mass which is centered at the nucleus, and the electrons which is revolve around the nucleus in a circular orbit. Then this orbit consists of, there is a space between this circular orbit, and because of this space, the structure of atoms will not be collapsed, and this model also explains why no positively charged particles are emitted. Then means today's video we had seen the structure of Thomas atomic model and the Rutherford's atomic model. Then next video we will study the difficulties of Rutherford model and atomic spectra. Thank you.